Alright, so we have a new Quiet Place movie out, and the plot for it is pretty much this. A woman named Sam finds herself trapped in New York City during the early stages of an invasion by alien creatures with ultrasonic hearing. Alright, let's get into the good parts of this movie, and the first thing I'm going to say is Lupita Nyong'o is a really great actor. And you're probably thinking, no shit, Sherlock? But seriously, a lot of the stuff that she does in this movie, which by the way, the Quiet Place movies don't have a lot of dialogue, so she's doing a lot of facial movements and a lot of eye movement that's just really great. And she really sells this character in Sam, although some of the reasoning that she has in this movie, which I'll get into later, is very stupid in my opinion. But because of how great of an actress Lupita Nyong'o is, she sells it very easily. The co-star for this movie is Joseph Quinn, who's also pretty much everywhere recently. And usually I get mad about that when the industry just starts planning people that I really don't think is that good. But that's not the case with Joseph Quinn because he really is a great actor. And he plays a character that pretty much everyone can relate to, which is someone who gets a lot of panic attacks and is just really nervous in general. And let's be honest, all of us would be absolutely nervous and having panic attacks if we were in this situation. But this movie really showcases what that would be like for someone that's an anxious-ridden person to be in this situation. And like I said before, I thought Joseph Quinn really nailed that. And I think Lupita and Joseph have really great chemistry in this movie. Next up is the CGI and visual effects. I thought both of those were really good. And the sound design for this movie is just as great as the first two. So definitely watch this in the loudest theater possible. Another thing that I liked about this movie is simply that I felt more terrified by the creatures in this movie than I did for the second one. But that's only because I know that the characters don't know what the hell is going on, as compared to the second movie where the main characters already know what's going to happen, or how to handle these creatures, which definitely took out the suspense and thrilling aspects of the movie. And the last thing I'll say before I get into some of my criticisms for this movie is that there's a certain song, I don't know what it's called, but there's a certain song that's being played throughout the movie that I really liked. So let's get into some of my criticisms, and the first one is simply that the story is really good here, but I kind of wanted it to be great, because I think the idea of having a Quiet Place movie before everyone figures out what's going on, and having it on the first day of this thing happening is just, or should be a guaranteed hit. And the movie actually does something different, and it's more about Lupita and Joseph Quinn as characters than it is about the horrors of the actual stuff that goes on in day one, or technically day 2 or 3. And I wish it would have leaned more into that because we get a lot of it in the first half, but the second half takes a little bit too much away from me. And once again, the end result is pretty solid in my opinion, but we could have used a little bit more of that action, thrilling, horror aspects. And like I said before, Lupita's character has pretty much the whole reason why she doesn't want to go on the boat, and the whole reason why she stays back is just because she wants pizza. It's not because she's looking for a relative or a friend or her cat that's in this movie. She just wants pizza, which I thought was pretty dumb. And Joseph Quinn's character pretty much just follows her along. Another thing that just kind of bothered me was just the cat. I know a lot of people are going to enjoy the cat scenes in this movie, but for me, I just thought it was a little bit stupid. But I just viewed the cat character as simply someone that was just a guardian angel, because anytime a character was around the cat, they were pretty much safe even though they were in very bad danger. And I know I say this for a lot of movies, but I did think this movie was 5 to 10 minutes too long. Also, one more thing I'll say before I give my score is that Damon Hanzu's character has something interesting happen to him in this movie, or something interesting that he does, that his son may or may not have seen, but that literally never gets talked about again for the rest of the movie, and I wanted to see what the hell happened there. It could have already been addressed in A Quiet Place 1 or 2, so whatever. But overall, there is a lot to enjoy about this new Quiet Place movie, and I think a lot of the fans are going to enjoy it, or even love it. But for me personally, there's a lot of flaws here that I just can't ignore. So that is why I'm going to give A Quiet Place Day 1 a 6.75 out of 10. So until the next video, see ya.